Good evening, friends. I thought I would just come here and chat with you for 15, 20 minutes or half an hour. And I was talking with other friends, and uh, when I talk about be present, it has revealed real joy in life. You are not caught in your head, but you are living life fully with attention, right? So this morning, one of my friends called me, and he was telling me about how he's having these mental things going on all the time. And so I told him, if you are in real life, here and now, you will be in the present, right? Hi, Mark. So it's a, uh lifestyle I really enjoy myself because I'm in the moment. That means I'm lightening my mental load from the past, and I'm not really putting a lot of mental load from the future, but giving all my attention to what is happening, and thereby I am actually enjoying good results and things are getting done, and my mind is light. Remember that enlightenment, it has two meanings. One is seeing the light, seeing the real light from darkness. Not to be in the darkness, but really knowing what is life, what does it mean, how does human life is superior to other people, why we have unalloyed joy and happiness from within, peace too. So this was the contribution of the ancient wisdom that has shown your thoughts are your tool, your faculty, but it's not real you. The real you is behind those thoughts when they are silenced, either from the past or the future. You really discover your real self, which is the being, which is the consciousness, which is the awareness itself. Once you are in the awareness doing stuff in the present moment, whatever you take up will be in flow. Otherwise, you are scheming, you are really planning, you are forecasting, and all that is a mental activity. Lot of your energy is consumed by that, at least in my experience. So what I tell my friends who join me in the morning routine, I tell them, hey, be in the present. And if the thoughts come either from your cultivated conditioning or your school culture, whatever, you have so much stored up from the past and also so many stimuli coming. And the moment you hear a song, you can think of, oh, this is my favorite song. My teenage sweetheart and me, we used to sing it. We had such a good time. So if you are with somebody else, you are not with that somebody, but you have gone to the past to your sweetheart, right? That way, it's not being in the present. That you get the drift what I'm talking about. So don't be in your head, either past or the present, as though it is the reality. You can take the insights of the past, learn lessons. That's fine. That's how we learn a lot of things, right? But as far as your mind, your emotional reactions are concerned, don't go in the past and relive them as though they are real. Okay? People say, "Oh, I have this good memory and I'm enjoying it, I'm being in it, and all that." The longer you are like that, the more you'll be established in your mind, in your past, in your future. Then you really miss joy of being, lightness of being. Okay, those two are my very, very important terms. Joy in being, or in being, all the joy of the life comes to you. And lightening of the being is lightening of your mind, of the past or the future. So that's how I discovered joy in my life. And I use thought, but I watch them, I use it, I slow it down. I kind of don't let them form their own network. And then I finish the thought. That's the important thing we don't do in the modern life is we get up thinking, we spend the day thinking and doing stuff, and we will be thinking and going to sleep, and then reinforce that thinking as though it is the reality. That's why manual labor used to at least have this mind not working beyond what they are doing, right? And they were driven by survival, and they were driven by duty and all that, right? They worked with the nature, they worked their bodies, move their bodies, and naturally their mind was silent. What happened to the modern life? Because people are stuck in the thought and they think that is life, they are really getting neurotic. You know, I'm not saying in a derogatory manner, but what I'm saying is we are continuously thinking, and we know something doesn't work. We go on. I hope I feel this have works out better. That kind of despair in the form of hope, and sometimes hope can lead you to the positive thinking and positive. That's fine, but generally neurotic. Same thing that did not work, we do again and again. That is the basic definition of neurosis, right? And modern culture, especially now with the information age, is making us to be landed in the past or in the future at the cost of being in the present. You may be in the present when you are threatened, when you have this more like a razor's edge. You are walking on the razor's edge. Anything happens, then you are going to be hurt seriously. That's why you are aware, alert, and awake, and really want to do. The same thing with the work also. If you have a threat, you have a punishment, or you are going to lose something, then you're going to work very well because you want to gain something out of it. But take the arts, the music, the other thing, they really get involved in what they're playing. And the more they are together with what they are doing with the art, it could be music, it could be dance, it could be just singing, it could be writing something profound. All these things you are completely involved where your being is in here, but your mind is only doing its purpose and then not making you go away from that moment. The more the musician is involved in that, the more he can reach us heartfully, right? So be present and be enjoy is not something ancient, something that is retrogressive. Rather, it is giving you the answers to the present modern society neurosis that is being bred every day, and then that's being really taken like it's a very intelligent thing. Is it? The test is this: do you enjoy the peace that comes with the stillness of the mind, calmness of the mind, and really have you to focus on anything just like that? Okay, then getting things done, getting real confidence from what you're doing, and then when you are doing the stuff, you will be in flow. Flow means what? Flow is where your mind is still, but at least your body knows what needs to be done. It is done very automatically without you really exerting, and you feel like everything is flowing. The full flow is possible if you know what is thought. Is thought is me, or I happen to have thoughts. That means thoughts are happening to me. I'm not happening to the thought. So you can be aware of the thought means you are the awareness, and that awareness is aware of the thoughts. Then how come you are letting your slave, supposed to be your thought is letting you dominate? Thought is being dominated by its slave, which are senses. and we are slave of the slave, and then we are slave to that. Think about it. That is that kind of importance is there, and this is not some ancient just saying for the sake of it, but it is adopted in my life as a solution to this constant chattering, missing out on the moment of present and not enjoying the life. It is that serious. Okay, so anybody has any questions or anything you want to say, please come up and let me know. I'll be happy to listen to you. See, the difficulty is people are caught in the network of thought that's built by past existing conditioning and then adopting that and getting up in the morning, engaging in thought, letting it go its own way, and letting it go towards your fears or aspirations or desires of the future, or regretting what happened in the past and missing out on what happened in the past, but never here and now, in the moment, in the life that is happening in front of you, right? So that's why this is a important modern problem with the information explosion. And in the middle of this so much information, knowing how to keep ourselves in the reality of present moment is very important. Otherwise, you will be in the head, missing out on the present life. So somebody who tasted that joy, who tasted that happiness, who tasted peace within, I don't want to be in the past or that is gone. I may learn the lessons from it, but I don't want to go and live there, saying that, wish if only I have done that, if only somebody has given me that, if only I fulfilled my opportunities. I have so many opportunities in my career, and so many things I let go because they didn't accept my principles, and I didn't really need it. And also, I even if I needed it, it was not in tune with my principles. I let go. In that process, I did not lose myself, right? And also, I don't really not to engage in brainstorming. I do, but then I make a plan. But as the plans are unfurled, my focus is completely on the process. And if I had to change what we have wanted to because of the circumstances are telling me in the present, I have no problem because what is important to me, and I'm going to focus to that what is rather than what can happen in the future. But even if something should happen in the future, I have to do what I'm doing here and now with complete attention. That's where I kind of focus myself, be attention to all what is happening. Actually, there is a mantra like I give it to my staff. It is in English. It is coined by me. It's not like I'm not a guru or anything like that. All I'm saying is attention to every action, even if it is small. So, for example, I tell my staff, okay, when the patient comes to our office, I want him to see this as a reception room, not a waiting room. And that's the principle. I said, in our office, nobody waits unnecessarily, right? So we strive to be on time. We strive to be, doing things in an order. And also, if we are going beyond the time and all that, explain to the person who is waiting that time. Give that respect, give that regard for his time. Okay, that kind of courtesy is from the ancient wisdom. Alasyam amrutam visham. That's what alasyam is. Delay, lateness is will turn the amrutam is nectar of the infinity to visham, it's poison. So that they always said, don't be late, be on time, all the time, respecting other people, respecting their time, and all that. So that is the ancient India. Present Indians may have forgotten. They think lateness is fashionable. I always tell them on their face, you should not be late because your ancient culture tells you that you should not be late. They don't get it. They think I'm mad or something, But I tell it the joking way, but nothing harm done. Um, but this is the important thing. Be in the present means be in life, and you don't want to be in a neurotic mind and identify with the mind. You can reflect on yourself and see whether you are neurotic, you are caught in that network of thought, and you don't have a moment of peace, quiet, stillness of the mind, and happiness, all that. All that is possible when you are living in the moment and you are established in your being, not in your thought made mind made. Okay, you don't want to be in the thought, you want to be in the present. So if you are in the present, you are in the joy. Hopefully that makes really sense to you. Anybody wants to come up, you can come up, we can continue this talk. I made my point what I was saying, and beyond that, I don't want to stretch it such a way that people are really bored or annoyed, because that is also going beyond the my, relatively. If we take as a physician point of view also, a patient comes to me, and normally he is very capable of handling situations in life. He has handled family, he has handled his monies, he has handled his minor injuries, setbacks, and all that. And when he comes, he dreads, hopefully I get good news from Dr. Kul, so he won't tell me something bad diagnosis, and that anxiety, that looking forward into the future without getting the result, he spends unnecessary energy and also generates stress hormones, right? Anxiety and all that. But when he comes, I may have a very good report to tell him that, okay, you are pre-diabetic, but we can manage this with lifestyles. Okay, let's go on a sensible diet. Let's see what you are eating, how you are eating. Let's change a little bit at a time and make small but permanent changes. And that way you will be, suppose you are eating out all the time, cut it off. Maybe once or twice a week you go out to eat. The rest of it you make your own meals. That kind of thing is a small change, but for some people it could be big because they are eating it all the time, and you may not have control of the cuisine when you are eating out. But if you are staying home, if you are cooking, or also you are getting your own vegetables and all that, it is much better for you. Such small changes, when they see they can do, they are doing it. They are doing it in the present moment. There will be temptations. There will be always calling back, oh, I should be tasting that, I love that, and all that, right? Then you have to limit that. You have to change that a little bit. Suppose ice cream, instead of having a big mug, you say only a couple of scoops and then enjoy it when you are one third empty in your stomach. So what you do is you eat so that one third of your stomach is empty, and then you take the dessert as a ice cream, small, one scoop or two scoops. That kind of thing is tolerable for many people, and eventually they realize what they are doing to themselves by not being careful with their diet, and then they change it by themselves. It is easier for them. So for him to be in the present means he should resist the temptations from the past that he has cultivated, and he should tempting from the future aspirations or desires, right? So that kind of thing is, the desire is in the present, the action you are doing it is in the present. That is the life you are living in the present. So change that habit, and you will be better off for yourself in the long run. Okay. I mean, many people have problems to be in the present. They think it's a continuous practice and all that. It's not really a continuous practice in the sense, other things are, you are letting those practices take hold, take life by themselves. Like, allowing the past conditioning come alive in you emotionally, recalling the insights, learning best practices, no problem. But regretting or repenting or really feeling bad about missing out. Like, for example, I grew up in the nature, among the fields, among the trees, and all that. Even though our house is a palatial, it has so many trees, beautiful atmosphere, beautiful weather, right? And now we see the toxic weather that we are not even sure we will have this earth anymore. It may be dying in a couple of hundred years if we continue the same thing that we did to the earth. But if you don't see what you are doing in the present moment, are you wasting water? Are you using plastic? Are you using a lot of chemicals thrown into the rivers or drinking water? Are you really not nurturing the topsoil of the earth? Are you grazing all the trees? Are you deforested? Those kind of things. If you are contributing in any way, that kind of behavior, you can change that for yourself, not for anybody else, but just for yourself. Okay, so living in the present is that kind of thing, influenced by what is in front of you. You remember I said so many times, what is sacred. What is in front of you anywhere is sacred, not some religion, some faith, or some temple, some church, not that. What is in front of you is sacred. Approach it like that. Like I heard Cecil was talking about earlier in a talk. She was saying, don't we have to live this day completely now so that we don't know whether we'll be there tomorrow? That's excellent, really. Actually, a sage was asked this question: how do you live daily life? The sage replied, suppose you know that you are going to die tomorrow. How would you spend today? Don't you want to put all your affairs in order? Don't you want to apologize to the people who you have really mistreated? Don't you want to hug your friends and parents and kids and everybody? Don't you want to bury all your inner reservations about people? It's like that, you live that day, and then you live every day like that. Daily life should be like that, as though we are dying tomorrow. That's a powerful, powerful engine for us to be in the present moment and enjoy that. Take, for example, an airplane going up in the air with so many passengers in it, and suddenly it loses one engine, it is falling to the ground. Only 1 minute left before you crash into the ground. The pilots, they always describe that's the longest minute they spent, and they did innumerable things in that minute. That's what happens when you live in the present moment, because you are living everything to the hilt, to the fullest. You are really living the life, and lot of things are done, and also you feel so much accomplished at the end of the day. One of our friends, she is a star on the Instagram, right? She was talking to me about Clara is coming up. I'll tell you the story later. Let's listen to what she has to say.
Hello,
Hi,
how are
Clara.
you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm good. I was thinking about what you were saying about living in the present,
Yeah,
and I have found that I have been going outside walking
yeah.
without my headphones on and just looking and feeling what is around me as I walk.
Excellent.
And I find that has really reduced my stress.
Yeah,
I would have so much more stress, and it's
yeah,
kind of like having to listen to video pod, like headphones with my books or my this, and I'm making phone calls. I
yeah,
was still working,
yeah,
but just going and walking, and I'm just in the present. And I thought about it later. I said, this is probably mindfulness.
yeah. Well,
And I didn't even really think about it that
yeah.
way.
I wouldn't say
But I just thought
mindfulness.
I would.
Yeah, I describe the mindfulness that the quality. I agree with you. What I'm saying is, it is mindlessness, aware,
Oh, okay.
awarenessfulness, because you are not having too many thoughts in there. You are having less of them. You don't have the input of the headphones, and then your eyes are looking at what is in front of you. You are hearing the noises, what is coming to you, and also you are not engaging with them. You're just enjoying them.
Right. Right. I've just started doing that
Yeah.
this week. I have not been doing that.
Yeah, that's a
And
wonderful thing. In
it's
this,
just made a big difference in my life.
I agree with you, Clara, because this information overload, you see, I'm an informatician. In the sense that they deal with the big data, EMRs, and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, patients also, I had to deal with a lot of information, but that is only a tool for me to evaluate what's going on with the patient, right? I
Right.
don't interact with this is good, this is bad, and all that. And also, I use the information to make a decision to make my patient better, right?
True. Right. Right.
Afterwards, I end that. How I end it? Next patient comes in. I give all my attention to that next patient without going to the back to the previous patient or going to the front to who is coming up. I just want to give my
Okay.
all my attention to it. Like that. When you are out, you don't have the input with the headphones and all that. You are merging with nature.
Interesting. Yeah. That makes a big difference. I'm glad you kind of brought some of these things up because I really wasn't thinking in that direction.
Yeah.
It
Come back, Clara. You can come back. You're saying something very valuable. Come back. Okay, she's coming back.
okay. Am I back?
Yeah, yeah, you're back.
Okay, so the other thing I've learned to do that I really love is I'll go out on my back porch,
Hmm.
sit out and listen to the birds.
Wonderful. Yeah, that is life. That is life. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I bought an app that identifies the birds in my backyard by their sounds.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
And that was amazing. I went out and I had about 11 birds yesterday in my backyard.
May I point out something here?
Yes.
Okay, you are there listening to the birds' noise, enjoying it. Stay there. Don't describe it. Don't find
Okay.
out what kind of bird it is and all that. Just the experience
Okay.
of the sound of the bird.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Because, okay, then I'm being too mindful. I'm not doing the mindlessness.
Yeah, yeah. You're putting on more analysis of the patient's knowledge and all. That's okay. Later on, it will come. But at that moment, you are sitting down to enjoy that musicality of the bird voice.
Right.
Enjoy
And
it.
so
Yeah,
then when I get through with that,
yeah,
it seems like you were talking about flow.
yeah. You are in the flow when you are,
Yes.
yeah, completely with the birds singing.
Right. And I had never experienced that
Yeah.
before.
I do experience all the time in whatever work I do. Like I'm talking to you, I'm
Yes.
completely with you
Oh, okay. So you do this all the time.
all the time. I mean, that is the human quality actually, but we are led astray by not being in the present.
Hmm.
Like you are enjoying the music of that bird, but then
Yes.
this need, like, I want to know what is this bird, what's its name, and all that. that's that's how we allow ourselves to be sunk into the information age.
I was turning it into work at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah. But the enriching thing is for you to be completely with that noise,
Okay.
with that
I like that.
yeah, with that bird singing. Your heart is swelling up. You see how beautiful that bird is singing. You don't have to even think like that. You just be with it.
Just be with it, and
Yeah.
your body will automatically react to it.
Yeah. Couple of places I visited, Clara. One is Niagara Falls. Another is in the in the Arizona, that big valley. We went there. Both are such a spectacular spots. You can come back, Clara. There's nobody in the queue, but if you want, you can come back. So I was focusing on the water going on. The more I am with it, the more really replenished I am. I forgot all the surroundings, families here, and all that, but I was able to really focus on that. Okay, so the same with the valley too. That's a dynamic. And then we kind of observed, we could not help it. Many people came and took one look at it, and then they just, oh, let's go and eat. You are going to eat anywhere, anyway, but this is something extraordinary in front of us, the nature's wonder. So the more you are absorbed without comparing that to anything else, but just enjoying that experience, which you are doing when you go out on the walk. You are not allowing this information world coming to you. That is it.
That makes a lot of sense,
Yeah.
because I can see where you go to Niagara Falls,
Yeah.
and instead of just being in awe,
Yeah.
I start reading the history.
Yeah. See, one of the things is we lost a lot of our wonder. Like with kids, we were wondering, oh yeah, fireworks and all that. That we lost because we are immersed in the information.
That's very true, because every time I used to do things, I'm analyzing it.
Yeah. That is the modern problem. That is only yours. All of us have that analysis paralysis problem. Yeah.
Yes, I write code for a living,
Yeah.
and so my mind is churning around a lot. So
you are in the same boat I am, Clara. I'm also an informatician, right? So you write code, but I deal with all the information that stems from the code, the output, right? Enormous, not even normal, big data, enormous, right? But how I do it is I kind of see it as a tool. My tool of thought is doing all that. And afterwards, I put it to sleep.
That's interesting. How do you just turn it off like that?
I pay attention to what is in front of me. I don't get lost in my mind. Like I said, the previous patient.
Did you have to discipline yourself?
No. Understand this. You are doing it now, but you just kind of trying to understand it, which is a good thing. That understanding comes into our. For example, I went to the Niagara. I am with the present. I am with that flow. Even the water that is fallen off is gone. That flow itself, the enormous roar, the mist. We went into the made of mist. By the way, it is a favorite place of my wife and me. We went 3 times, took our parents and all that too. But we live in the Midwest, but we went there all the way driving to Niagara Falls 3 times, and we enjoyed thoroughly.
Yeah, you do love it.
Yeah, the thing is, once you are there, if you're thinking about, I have to get my car petrol loaded, or I have to eat, I have to drink, I mean, you should have done all of that and come there and then enjoyed that. So be with what is happening in front of you. That is what is sacred. Treat whatever is happening in front, like the birds you are listening to. That's a sacred experience. If you go out and you are really putting away all the external stimuli like headphones and other things, be with what you are seeing in front of you. Your eyes are seeing something. Let it flow. And ears, what is hearing. And you will hear a lot more when you allow yourself to be listening to what is happening around you. The birds chirping, water running, leaves under you, the dry leaves crackling, right? All these things will be happening. So, in the present moment, without really changing our jobs, understand the problems that this kind of generation of information in our mind can do. What you can do is be with it when you are working, but after you work, leave it. Go into your awareness and stay there. This is what I always talk about. Be in awareness and use thought consciously. Don't allow the thought to go vagabond by itself. That's when it forms its own network, and those networks get solidified and act against you. We can use that for ourselves, like a good habit developing technique and all that. But at the same time, the so-called experiential things that we should have buried, we cling to them. We bring them back. That is how the depression, negative thinking, overthinking, all this happens, and the people lose their spontaneity. People lose their flow in work. This is very important in this age because as the AI gets into handling a lot of mundane things. And if you are sitting there just thinking about them without really enjoying what is left for you to know yourself, to find peace and happiness within yourself, is possible now. I use AI, artificial intelligence, in a major way. I'm learning them too. But what it is doing is, it is allowing me to find lot most of what I like to do, which is sit in quietness, explore my inner self, and relish that peace, happiness, joy within. That's what I'm trying to relate to other people too. But I enjoy it first. It's not something I'm telling you which I'm not doing. I can relate to Clara very easily because she is in coding. She has a lot of input. She is fed up with that, for example, and then took away the phones and went and exposed her to. That is one of the cues we actually say. This is called forest bathing. The doctors or the IT people that I coach for burnout and stress, when they come, I see many of the time they don't have any touch with the nature on a daily basis. They are not gardeners. They don't go and live in the wooded areas all the time. They live in the middle of the concrete jungle of the cities, and they don't even watch the plants that are planted by the city in the islands and all that on the roads, right? So I make them notice that. For example, I'm in Iowa. We enjoy all three seasons: winter, fall, and all summer, right? The leaves turn golden color later on, right? But I am in touch with them ever since they budded. So I go out driving, I will be aware of what is going on with those greenness, what's going on with that wind, what's going on with the light, what's going on with the snow falling. All the seasons reveal the beauty of the nature only if you are receptive to it, right? Once you are receptive to it, it is right here. Beautiful, glorious earth, even though we are spoiling it so much, still it has the life in it. We can change this. We can understand the problems we are creating with our thought belt world where we think we have to get some things to be happy. We are never turning inward and finding these innumerable diamonds we have within ourselves. All that is possible only if you know how this thought is working, how the thought can be less. That is, not full of the mind, but the less of the mind, so that you are completely, fully attending to the moment. That is being in awareness, not in thought and telling so many theories. You have no idea of that silence when you are completely caught up in the thought circle. That is, unfortunately, that is what is happening to many people. And that's why they're getting stressed out, burnout, and not enjoying their life, not enjoying their professions, not enjoying their families, not enjoying the nature that is there for them. So for me, I have so many things I can enjoy. I don't have to really buy it. I can just be aware of the human beings. Like Clara has come and beautifully told us about what she's enjoying in the nature and what she's looking at the birds and all that. intricacies I might have explained, but her actual experience is hers. She doesn't want to expose her data. She's fed up with it. So she put it away, went and took a walk. That's what I prescribe for my physicians to forest bathing. That means you go there and let yourself be bathed by the bird callings, the leaves rumbling, or wind blowing, or rain falling, or water flowing. All these things are right there, and you allow to be bathed by them. That is the forest bathing is. And then you will be really established in your being here and now and really releasing the joy from within. Thank you, Clara, for coming up and really contributing to our discussion. And also, it is your experience. It's not like something we have created. It is really she's enjoying the nature and understanding how this whole thing works is much easier for her to be there in the present moment. And also work her coding too. She can do the coding fully involved, completely in flow without having multitasking, doing whatever task, even the coding also, one step at a time. You just focus on that. Then you won't have to think ahead or you don't have to really go and live in the past at the expense of the present. Coding is that, right? As you give the commands, it will respond. So you have to be in the present moment in flow. So once you understand this movement of thought from past to present to future, but then you kind of put it as a like stay there, you know. I don't want to be waking up for unnecessary, but I want to switch myself from attention to from thought to attention, from thought, from thinking to attention, attention of giving all my energy to what is in front of me, which is what is sacred. Approach like that and the whole day goes like that. Your mind is not really overloaded and your being is lightened, lightness of being. This is as important as enlightenment. Enlightenment is where the light is dispelling your darkness, your confusion, your conclusions. But lack of this unnecessary burden of thought is what brings the lightness to your being. Reflect on that and then grasp it. Don't go on analyzing it. Grasp it in the real life where you are here and now in the present moment, enjoying what you are doing in the spirit of service. And then any work becomes very easy, any work becomes quality, and any work really will not drain you. It will actually give you so much more energy. That's how I feel though. At the end of the day, also, I have full of energy because I did not waste my energy by involving in thought, but using the thought and ending it, keeping it in its place. So that's the way I think we could really encounter what are the future challenges that may come up with this information age. We are hearing a lot of things about agents, AGI, and complete domination by the. What are you going to do? You don't have to worry about it now. You will deal with it, and it comes to the present. But also, you cannot stop the scientists inventing things, doing stuff. But also, you cannot stop the rogues using the same technology to destroy us. That both are there. So suppose all the mundane things are done by the AGI, the assistant. They said 25 in a couple of months they will be here. The agents, they think by themselves and do things for yourself. So what happens to all these people who are steeped in thought? They go berserk because this is the first time technology is taking over our thought process and doing it by themselves. then what are you going to do? Going to go crazy? Or realizing thought is only one instrument and I let it loose and I created a monster by myself. So you have to turn inward and find out who you really are. You are not thought, you are that being. That has to be grasped though. That is cannot be analyzed or paralyzed, right? It has to be intuitively grasped. That's the difficulty of the modern man is because he always not one person but modern people, they are turning outward for pleasure, for happiness, for peace and all that by creating things outside with the thought. But then that is temporary, that will go away. Okay, but what you are in awareness is always going to be here. And I, if I should survive for 20 years and see this change of technology, um, I will be happy because I'm happy even now. Without all these artificial tools, without all these things, I'm pretty happy within myself because happiness for me is inside. Peace for me is inside. Joy for me is inside. Only I can mess it up with my thinking patterns and all that. Use the thought in the present moment to do things, that's fine, but then learn to end it and be in your awareness all the time. Be in awareness and use thought consciously. That is my mantra. Thank you. And if anybody wants to come up, this is the last chance. Otherwise, I will close up the room. I'm glad that Clara came up and presented such a beautiful experience with the nature and some of the intricacies I could explain. Okay, thank you, Clara, for your contribution. I'll see you again in the morning for my morning routine, where the morning routine I kind of condensed into 7 principles, looking at the people I was helping with burnout and stress. So they were not really making themselves ready in the morning and letting their mind go all over. So, first of all, you want to have energy in your body to be able to take up any work, right? So, you have to work to be well, and that is a proactive wellness I talk about all the time. At least in the morning, get up, do some stretching, do some deep breathing with it, and keep your mind here and now and watch the thought. These are the 4 things I want them to do: stretch your body, deep breathe, and be in the present moment and watch your thoughts. And also cultivate 3 attitudes. One attitude is I'm not going to react that quickly emotionally for every small thing. And I'm going to cultivate an attitude of service, attending to the needs of others over mine. And I'm going to take both my wins and losses equanimously. You determine all these things in the morning and go to work and do like that, then you will be very happy at the end of the day. Not only not experiencing stress for yourself, but also have the inner resilience by this deep breathing, present moment, and all that. You will be able to handle the so called incident that produce stress for you much easier. That's why do 4 things, cultivate 3 attitudes, and go to work. This is around which I developed because many people they get up and then start thinking all sorts of negatives, all sorts of things about the future of the day, and then go there all worked up, all tightened up already. Instead, while you are stretching, while you are deep breathing, your parasympathetic nervous system will be activated so that it will give you the inner resilience not to react to everything and also be in focus of the present moment and do the work well, right? And also you have the service attitude, you don't have these selfish instincts coming up, and you make more friends by giving what you can do to all. So thinking all these things, I want my people to train up in the inner resilience. I want them not to react and understand how the body can be prepared for this, your mind can be prepared for this, so that instead of reacting, you respond to your responsibilities. not with your emotional passions and all that. That is a sure way to get burnout. That's what's happening. Many people are thinking passion is very good. I can really spend myself emotionally and do that. No, have a goal of excellence. That will come only in the present moment, not in emotional passions and all that. You get burnt out. So attend my morning routine and not just doing it with me, but cultivating these all these things and employing that in your daily life after the morning routine is done. That will produce fruitful results for you. I want you to enjoy your work. I want you to not to generate stress for others, for yourself. I want you not to burn out from all the years of training skills that you have learned. You can use to serve other human beings. I'm talking about physicians here. Many of them are have turning like that. After so many years of service, so many years of training, so much money spent, and so much really talent built, they are becoming really useless people because they are emotionally exhausted, physically really welcoming so many chronic diseases, not having good relationship with the family, with other people, and not having the energy. And some people are driven to even suicide. So that's why I'm so eager to help the physician nurses by teaching them how to make their body, mind, and heart ready for work. And work that way that is going to be enlightening for you, and so that you will come home with less burden in your head. That's my secret why I have so much of energy at the end of the day is because I don't waste my energy on the unnecessary negative thoughts. Dump it right away. If it comes, dump it. Or at the end of the day, review all of them and then dump it from your mind and go to sleep on empty mind. This can be done. If I can do it, anybody else can do it too. I just want to share it so that other people also can see the wisdom of it, not to follow, but to understand and implement in their life. Okay, with that, I will take leave now and I will see you tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock Central. Namaste.